Hello everyone, today we're going to show you how to use a Phrozen Sonic 3D printer. You can connect your printer to your network in two ways. You can directly connect to your printer with your modem, with an Ethernet cable, or wirelessly, which is a much easier setup. Once you turn on your printer, you will see 6 icons. Click on Wi-Fi, click on your network, type in your password, enter, and then press connect. You should see a successful message pop up. To make sure the 3D printer is fully functional, we are testing the LCD screen. To remove the vat, simply untighten the knobs and pull the vat up. Ensure your film is transparent. Ours is used but definitely usable. Once it starts fogging up, you may want to consider replacing the film. Avoid using any sharp tools on the Teflon film to prevent any leakages. Make sure you don't stare directly into the LCD screen and wear protective eyewear. Click on LCD test and click the white square in the middle. Remember, the LCD screen is very fragile. Do not use any sharp tools on the surface of the screen. The LCD is also consumable, so over time it would wear down and would need to be replaced. To insert the build plate, always make sure the semicircle is facing away from you when placing it back in. Make sure you keep the surface of the build plate free of any debris. You wouldn't want anything left over on the build plate pushing onto the LCD screen. Remove all prints and make sure nothing is left over on the build plate. Next, we're going to calibrate the build plate. Start by loosening all 4 screws of the build plate. Ensure that every screw is loosened as shown in the video. It should be a smooth transition moving it up and down. This is a very important part of the calibration. Make sure the build plate is all the way down as shown in the video. Slide it in and tighten it up with the knob. Make sure the build plate is securely in. Place a piece of paper on the LCD screen. This will prevent any damages on the screen. Go to the touchscreen, click on Z axis, click on the circle between the up and down arrows. Press next and the build plate will start moving down. Tighten the screws opposite from each other. Start with one corner, then do the opposite corner on the other side. Do this for all 4 screws. The build plate will adjust itself accordingly. Give the paper a slight yank to ensure it is nicely secured. If the paper is loose, redo the calibration. Once everything is tightened, go back to the touchscreen and press done. Now the build plate will start moving up and return to its original position. Next, we're going to dive into the software. Open the software. Choose your language. Select which printer you have. For us, we have the Phrozen Sonic. Choose File, click Open, then choose your STL. I imported a simple ring and added a gate because it's better than adding multiple sports under the ring. Right click to change the view, hold shift and hold right to pan, scroll on the mouse to zoom in and out, Select Object to move. The 3 buttons with the down arrows are for positioning the object on the Z. The first button, Move to 0mm, allows you to place it directly on the build plate, typically what you want. The other 2 options allow you to place on optimal levels for supporting. For now, we just want to make sure your STL file is directly on the build area, so start by using the first button. To add supports, go to the support mode. Use Generate Supports to automatically make supports. There are plenty of options below to customize the automatic supports. As you can see, there are supports everywhere and they are not necessary. Automatic supports add supports to where they believe it is necessary. It's not the best tool to use when you have a gate. You can always reduce the amount of automatic supports with the tools below. I would rather add supports manually, so click Clear Supports and click to move to 0mm. Adding supports manually typically is better because you have more flexibility and control. A handy tip is to use the rail to scroll up and down on the object to see where islands are. Scroll to the point where islands are, so you know you need to add supports there. To add supports manually, go to the top and select Single Support. Make sure the object is flat because we have a gate. There are also color indicators to where you need to add potential supports. Red is strong indicator of requiring support. We know where islands are located, so we only need 2 supports. Press Enter on your keyboard to confirm supports. I'm going to delete the current supports by pressing Delete on my keyboard. There is a handy preview tool on the bottom left corner. It should show you white lines around the object and a preview of where your supports are going to be. Once again, press Enter. You also change aspects of the support by clicking on the points. Hold Shift and click on multiple parts to edit them at the same time. Definitely play around with these options and find out what works better with you. The default option does a trick for this file. And click Finish adding supports. Finally, we're going to slice the file and add a bit more options for slicing. Go to File, Configuration, Machines, Phrozen Sonic, Print Profile. Right now we only have the slicing option of 100 microns. Click New to add 50 microns and another 50 microns. For a third one, we're going to change it to 30 microns. Just click on it. Typically we use only 30 and 50 microns. The main difference between these two is the amount of time and detail it would add to your model. With 30 microns, you're getting higher detail, but it would take a lot longer to print. I would say 50 microns can do a majority of files and prints the files much faster, but the choice is up to you. Finally, we can hit Save and Exit. Click on the top right to choose Profiles. We're going with 50 microns. Now go to the top and click Slice. It's going to ask you to save. Make a folder anywhere. Typically, I keep it on desktop to make it easier. Once you select the folder, you can rename your file or keep it as a default name and click Start Slicing. Once you have your sliced file, we're going to connect your printer with the IP address on the touchscreen. You can upload directly to the machine from this point, but we're going to skip that part just to show you the entire steps. Go to any browser on your computer, what you can do is type in the IP address on your touchscreen. Start by uploading your profiles. Go to Profiles. We are going to use EasyCast HD Violet that is optimized for LCD 3D printers. We're going to upload the profiles for Violet 50 microns and 30 microns. As you can see from the screen, these are the profiles I use. You can find each profiles on our website, but for now I'm going to manually type them in. Instead of typing everything manually, you can simply import the profile by scrolling down and clicking on Choose File, then Import Resin. Once you upload these profiles, you will need to select plates. This is where you're going to upload your files. Find your sliced file and upload this file. If you scroll down, your file will be there. Since I sliced my file 50 microns, I'm going with Violet 50 microns and click Update. Just to make sure the right settings are selected, I'm just going to refresh the page just to make sure it's there. Before we click Print, we are going to pour in our resin into the vat. We are going to pour the resin under the halfway mark. Now go into the web browser and click Print. Once you hit Print, the build plate can start moving down and your print can get started. Thank you for watching today's video. Please subscribe for more videos like this.